down again. Every single week you turn it down. How was that?
She doesn't check. Oh yes, it's all set up. It's all set up perfectly, ready to go at a moment's notice. Oh, and it isn't. So I'll start again. Hi there, everyone. Welcome back. It's Monday. It's 7 o'clock UK time, and what does that mean? That, of course, does mean it is the Monday Club, and welcome along. We have got a great show for you tonight.
What have you done to this? Because you're hardly getting any volume.
So 1 2 1 2.
That would be your
2,
left-right balance
1,
that you're turning,
2.
wouldn't it?
No, it's the main mix. Read what it's. Can't get a start, can you?
You hardly pay me except in peanuts. So
yeah,
you get
peanuts, get covered monkeys. Anywho, as I was saying, we have got a great show for you tonight.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Excellent.
We're going to be looking at one of the most anticipated releases of Locomotives upcoming. And actually, I must put a great big thank you out there to Helgen, to Scale, and also DCC Concepts, who've told me about things that are going on. And also, in the case of Helgen and Scale, have provided some really great high-quality pictures as well. So I've got a lot to talk about and a lot of stuff to illustrate what I'm going to be talking about. But I noticed as well, actually over on the, oh gosh, bish bash bosh bish bish bish, everybody's saying it's too quiet. Hopefully we fixed that. I think that actually the issue is that basically the cupboard monkey's been messing about.
The issue is that you fiddle with things between weeks. I get it set up perfectly and then you go and do things.
Yeah, like
you do things.
Like what?
Stuff.
Yeah, ooh, don't you point that finger at me.
Where's the other finger to point?
Yeah, you be careful. I've got visions of you going head first down there and me going, oh, before you...
How about if I point this finger at you? You stole my finger. No, you're using my weapons against me.
Oh no, the gate's locked. We'll have to go round. Right, anyway, well, meanwhile, back at the ranch, also, oh, it's Oxford Rail as well. I missed them off. Shouldn't have done. Oxford Rail 2 have made available some pictures of wagons, which I can now reveal. It's probably been revealed elsewhere, but I got told last night that the tanker wagons, or at least the first 2 of the tanker wagons that livery samples were shown off, are imminent. That's right, boys and girls. They are pretty much going to be in the shops any day now. So that is a model actually that I have been really looking forward to ever since I saw the livery samples at Worley last year. Gosh, that's a long time ago. But also I should mention that today's live stream is sponsored by All Mouse Media, who coincidentally happened to publish my books. And last week we had a great response. We did a kind of a during the stream offer, so we're going to be extending that offer as well. And this is for my science fiction books.
You said extend.
Yeah, oh dear, Beavis and Butthead are in. Actually, no, I don't think Beavis and Butthead are in yet. Because
which one are you, Beavis or Butthead?
I am neither, because the trolls are Beavis and Butthead. But anyway,
no, people like Beavis and Butthead.
No, they laugh at them, not with them. But hey, right, let's have a look and see what people are saying. So
right, I'm ordering a pizza.
Yes, you are.
Survey says order pizza.
Yeah. West Coast Model Railway says the volume is fine. Yeah, Zoe is loud enough because she is.
I'm pretty much next to the microphone. I'm here.
Right. I wonder where the green finger would come in. The green finger. The green finger of ultimate power. I have this. See, we are in 3D.
The power, has it?
Yes. Anyway, right. Let's stop being stupid. Come on, professionalism. What are we looking at? Pizza, apparently.
Is this the order that you would like, the meaty feasty?
Yeah, it'll do. Right. Oh, hold on. Something stopped working. Something went wrong, apparently, with my my feed. So
what's happened? What? We've got green light here.
Yeah, my feed, not yours. Anyway. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, once the cupboard monkey lets me
ranch dressing.
Yes. So let's see what other views we've got of Weir Yard going on there. So there's plenty going on, and what you'll see going round actually is that I have wound Weir Yard forward again to what's actually, I have to say, my favourite period, which is kind of the late 70s, early 80s. Although we stretch it a bit either way. But we have got a lovely Helgen Class 27 as 27001 in the factory weathered BR green. It's actually a really nice livery, that. I did a full review on that comparatively recently. And actually, talking about the Helgen Type 2 there has got me thinking that, of course, Helgen announced some time back the Class 25s that they were bringing out, going head-to-head with Bachmann. But it has to be said, what's wrong?
Just think that has a very white top.
It does. Anyway, I'll come to that in a bit.
Okay.
So actually, Cupboard Monkey, if you would like to check my emails, we've got...
Your eBay gums.
Yes, you will find an email from Helgen with some close-up pictures that they kindly took of the Class 25 livery prototype. So this has been...
Okay.
This is...
Before you go on to that, James Pets has a very interesting question there. Have you sorted out your DCC issues from last week?
Ah, right, yes.
So while I'm getting these up, you could answer that.
DCC issues, where are we? Bish, bash, bash, boosh. Right, I have got hold of these, so great thanks to DCC, DCC Concepts for rushing these out. So these are 3 lots of the power bus suppressor stroke terminator. Now, those of you of a certain age who remember 10-base-T networking used to have to put a terminator on the end, which was in effect a sort of a resistor stroke capacitor between the 2 wires to smooth out spikes and noise. And that is exactly what these are intended for. So as you can see, they did arrive in the post today, so I need to send a big thank you to DCC Concept for rushing these out to me. Very kindly done so. And I will be fitting these to the layout probably tomorrow. Of course, as everybody probably may be aware, I've been actually really ill over the last week. I've got shingles. One of the reasons that my hair is currently down is to hide the fact that I have weird sort of they're not scars, they will go, but scabs and stuff down one side of my face and across here,
you
around my
such
eye.
lovely things.
Yeah, but I've been put on some really...
These ones?
Yes, those are the pictures.
Okay, so you've been put on what?
I've been put on some very powerful antivirals because they were worried it would go to my optic nerve and blind me in my left eye. So it was panic stations. I thought I'd had an allergic reaction to hairspray, but the doctor went, no, that's classic shingles. So that's what's been going on with that. But whilst the Cupboard Monkey tries to bring up the pictures, is that bringing them up?
Well, it will, but it's kind of in your inbox, so I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, you don't really want to show people. It's like, oh my word, yeah, you're buying double glazing. There is no art package on this computer. Now, it's a bit of
Don't worry about it.
It's an oversight, I have to say. But anyway, the Helgen Class 25, it's, from what I'm led to believe, it's the EP sample, which has had some tweaks since we last saw it in its naked form, and it's been hand-painted.
That's going to get us demonetized. Talk about naked.
Stop it.
It will. You know what the algorithm's like.
Well,
you know.
You stop it. I'm trying to be professional here. Right. Anyway, this is really important.
She's trying to be professional, but she asked me
very
to join.
kindly sent over these pictures, and so there's a number of minor issues have been sorted from when we saw the EPs with no paint job on them. This has been hand painted, but boy has it been hand painted well. This is an amazing livery on this. It's the two-tone green, and looking at this model, it really does look the business. So have we...
Here it is. It's already up.
So is that on screen?
We are broadcasting.
So Helgen have very, very kindly sent over these pictures, and looking there, what immediately springs out to me is the fact that the bottom of the body, where it kind of goes to the underframe, that is actually the big difference for me between that and the pre-existing Bachmann model. The roof line, the tumble home at the top does look really nice actually, and certainly over the top of the cab where we've got that head code box, that really does look good. So Yeah, the bogey detail as well. Now, I know Sutton Locomotive Works have done the Class 24 and everybody's raved about how great they look, but certainly what I'm seeing with that bogey is a similar, if not better, finesse of detail. So I know quite a few people have been waiting for these. Have we got more pictures of this? I'll press the button, shall I? So I shall lean in there, and that's a full overview. And again, look at that livery. I'm a BR Blue girl, but I have to say that is really exquisite in that livery. It brings out the detail well, and you can clearly see that this has upped the game. I must admit, looking at this, it's hard to believe that that is a 00 gauge model. If somebody had said to me, "Oh, that's gauge 1, gauge 2," I'd have gone, yeah, and it really does look good. Look at the detail that's on there. But that's actually a 00 gauge model. And is that the only pic? Where's the? Oh, is that it then? We've just got the 2.
We should have 4. Let's keep on.
There's no.
Ugh.
There is no.
It's done it again.
What's it done?
It's messed about.
So again, I'm looking at that, and the cab glazing as well does look great. Got the separately applied windscreen wipers. I'm loving this model actually, and so a lot of people have been waiting for this 25 with their anticipation. And looking at that, this is certainly one to watch. What's wrong?
9. Just keep going. It's fine. Just because I said whoops is because something came up on screen. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I'm really pleased
It
to
wasn't
see
your
that.
bank details. It's all right.
Yeah, a big thank you to Helgen for sending that over. So this is one of the anticipated upcoming models. So I'm sharing that with you. Flymo Chairman 1 says, yeah, that's nice. Peter Carson says, looks as good as the Class 29 two-tone. Yeah, and the Class 29 in two-tone was a great model. I've still got that up there as being potentially my personal choice for the #1 model of this year. But the 25 I think is due out, I think it said Q4, but don't quote me on that. But certainly we're looking at hopefully getting that before the end of this year, so maybe that is going to sneak in. Don't forget as well, we've got 211 people in the stream at the moment. Don't forget to click that like button and also share this stream to let other people know what we're up to and that everybody is welcome. And if you haven't already done so, do subscribe to the channel. What's actually up on screen at the moment?
You with the front.
So a big hello to Dundee Road, Rule 1 Model Railways. So I'm sort of like gushing a little bit over the Helgen 25. So I've missed loads and loads of comments. But Gary Lewis, hi Jenny and Zoe, watching the Monday Night Club, proudly wearing my Railway, My Rules t-shirt and having a cup of tea in my Monday Club that arrived only this afternoon. Oh, good man, sir, good man. And of course, yes, don't forget, we've got the Teespring links down below, so you can get some of the merchandise as well. In fact, there's a new t-shirt that's gone up. Has it gone up yet, or is it to go up?
It's gone up. It's not linked on YouTube because it won't filter through to the YouTube thing for a couple of days, but yes. It does exist.
We've got a new t-shirt coming as well, which is, I have too many model trains, said no one ever. And that's going to be mimicking the Weir Yard logo as well. But certainly, one of the things I always say is, because the comments come in really, really quickly, if you've asked a question or said something and I've missed it, it's not that I'm deliberately missing it. It's quite simply that it's so difficult to keep up. The other thing as well I should routinely check, which whilst I'm thinking about it, I'm going to get that up and running now, is we've got a paypal.me link. And I want to be able to keep...
That should be coming up on the details box. The description by them. I'm just trying to find out why someone's apparently not able to comment on your...
what's their name?
Jackie LFC Gerard.
Oh.
It's been asked in the comments again.
Right.
I had to look for it, and right, the reason I couldn't work out how to sort it is because I can't find they don't seem to have a
right, okay.
page.
Right, sorry, I'm having a look down. We've got Rob Arnold says nice, like the two-tone green. Henry's Transport Adventures and Beyond Backman Class 25. No, that was actually the Helgen Class 25 NOO. So looking to break cover into the shops by the end of the year, I believe. Stuart Muir says, "Hiya Jenny, I am looking forward to the Daypole Mark III Sleepers in N-Gauge, the Class 319 from Farish, Class 313 from Revolution Trains, and the Class 321 also from Revolution Trains." So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff coming through, and actually some of the things that I've lost my train of thought. Some of the things that people have been saying on the Facebook of this, that actually it's quite interesting to see what people were posting, because there's certain models do keep coming up again and again. The Class 185 I think is also popular. What are we looking for?
I told you I'm trying to find out why someone who is a fan can't post. I'm just going through all the stuff. I've been through it last week when I said to the guy that I would look into it, and I couldn't find out why.
Right, so we're just looking into that at the moment. Container Man 68 says, "I had shingles when I was 13 on my back. Never scratch." I know. I can't imagine the pain of shingles on your head. It was actually, luckily we caught it reasonably early. But a little top tip for you. Don't scratch with your fingernails, but just rub your hand like that. And
Don't
do
that.
That for me was enough to ease the itching without breaking the surface. God, it's like, yes, Mum. Yeah, okay, Mum. I know what to do.
Okay, Anfield Road, she should be able to comment now. I've checked through, and for some reason she'd been on a mute list rather than a block list, and I don't know how that's happened.
I don't know, because I haven't actually put anybody on. So
neither have I. It may be an oversight. It may be that she's got caught up with something else. So whatever's happened, sorry about that, but she should be able to talk now.
Peter Carson says DCC Concepts need to rush out their digital IP point switches. Right, I do have some news from DCC Concepts.
Is that another one?
So let's have a look. Let me find the information. Right.
Well, it's self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Cobalt point motors are flowing in from the factory, but people need to pre-order them. Essentially, they're going out as fast as they're coming in. So they will appear to be out of stock, and it's quite simply that as fast as they're coming in, they are selling. So if you are trying to get hold of Cobalt point motors from DCC Concepts, then essentially you'll need to order them. Otherwise, you'll never see them in stock at the moment. And also, I have accidentally stumbled across. Hold on, let me. I've made a note of this. I stumbled across the new Zen decoders. I'm not sure whether I've been a bit naughty here, but what the hell? If I can stumble across it, anybody else can as well. So I'm just going to put into the chat bar there, DCC Concepts, the new version of the Zen decoders. That link should take you to a live website, and that's something I know we've been waiting for that. So let's have a look. Peter Smith says, "Why don't Hornby make the Polo wagon again?" Oh yes, this was a tanker wagon. They had a series.
Is that a wagon with a hole in it?
No, funnily enough, it wasn't. But it was their generic tanker wagon. But they had a series of these. They had one that looked like a Duracell battery as well. But they had one that looked like a packet of Polos. And I do remember those. They were probably early 1980s. And maybe that's something that perhaps should have reappeared for the centenary year, because these are things that people do remember with a great deal of fondness. But yeah, I do remember that and the Duracell wagon. There could be a licensing issue, but I don't know. Right. Tim Condrup says, "I got the Hornby 9F now." Ah, is that the Triang Hornby, the 1970s retro 9F for the centenary year? I know I did see the posting from Hornby saying that they were being dispatched, and for some reason I've just noticed why has that locomotive deceitfully started pushing its entire train.
Which one?
This one. So I'm going to stop that there now.
Oh yeah.
That is most peculiar. It has run for days and days, it has to be said.
Send it round backwards.
Yeah, I'm just doing that now, Cupboard Monkey. Way ahead of you. For days and days, that has run without issue. So as soon as my back is turned, look what it did.
Yeah, Kevin Zed's asking, why is your Class 47 pushing coaches? Basically because Jenny hadn't noticed.
Yeah, because it slipped the coupling and then decided to do that. Right, anyway, the Class 47 is the Somerset Andy Class 47. The Somerset Andy, very, very kind. What's wrong?
That's an interesting question from West Coast Model Railway.
Oh, no worries. Right, let me just bring this round and try and get this running. So hold that ready for me whilst I get this. I'm
holding it ready.
And we're going to buffer up, boys and girls. And then let's. There's a sound fitted one as well. But before anybody asks, I'm not going to make a. Let me just check and make sure. There we go. Right, anyway, this is an interesting question that the Cupboard Monkey has brought to my attention. West Coast Model Railway. Do you think £260 is unreasonable for a Hornby HST, which is basically a carriage and a loco? I don't like to wade in too heavily on the debate because there's a lot of things go on behind the scenes in terms of the cost of making some of these. And actually, one of the things that the HST is effectively two HST power cars. It's two locomotives, and whereas one doesn't have a locomotive in, so actually doesn't have a motor in, a lot of the manufacturers, Helgen, Bachmann as well, have gone on record and said that actually the cost of the motor is negligible. So effectively what you have to get into your head is that that's two locomotives, and when you think of it like that, then actually the price makes a little bit more sense. And that's possibly the reason why it's a bit of a red herring to think of it as being effectively just like a coach and a locomotive, because it isn't. Effectively what they're making are two locomotives. It just happens to be that one hasn't been fitted with the electric motor and gearing. Right. Oh gosh, I am well behind on these comments. So, let's have a look. Gary Lewis says, liking the very long push-pull train. I think we've got that sorted. Yeah, Chris Hale's Heritage Railway says, I've got the Duracell battery one. I do remember that. Anthony Lee Dickinson says, I have the Thomas the Tank Engine game. Does that count? Interesting. McBenman1 says, hi Jenny, does Hornby make O-gauge wagons? Not anymore. They did in the dim and distant past, and when I say that I'm talking about 1930s, 40s, I think even into the 1950s with the Timplay O-gauge. Now, they brought out for the centenary year 4 locomotives. It's actually the same locomotive but in different liveries. So we've got like Caledonian Railway, Great Northern Railway, Midland Railway and London and North Western Railway. As far as I'm aware, the Great Northern Railway version has now reached the market. So all 4 of those have now gone on sale, but there's nothing to go with them. If you want wagons and track, you're going to have to scour places like the Bay and look for the old vintage Hornby O-gauge. Now, the new locomotive will run quite happily on that because it is meant to be a duplicate of that original locomotive from 1920. Let's have a look. Nick Neumann, greetings from Shipley Freight Yard. Simon Trains MRS, the Class 47 want to be mischievous on a live stream very much. At least it didn't go and pop its decoder like we've had an issue with. Now, I have to say, touch wood, yes, Cupboard Monkey, my head is not made of wood, but we haven't had any issues. But we are keeping an eye on things. But I will be fitting those bus suppressors that DCC Concepts very kindly rushed over. And these have got a catalogue number of DCC-BT2 if you want to go looking for them, and they're just to smooth out things on your DCC bus. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, smack the cupboard monkey. That is something that we need to do to fit at some point. Right. Kevin ZZ, it is an interesting point you make here. If the cost of a motor is negligible, why are diesel locomotives often 3 times the price of a coach? And they've got a little bit more in them than a coach, and I think there's also an element of design work, R&D, but I don't know, ask the manufacturers. Merthyr Central 88D says, Jenny, I'm looking at buying my first DCC loco at payday. Any recommendations, preferably steam? Now, if you're prepared to fit your own DCC decoders, and of course I do recommend the Train-O-Matic range of decoders, and these can be got from, oh my word, I will come to somebody who's just donated through the super chat, but at the moment, value for money, steam locomotives, the Hornby J50 can be had for around £65. You will need to DCC fit it yourself. It's a pretty easy job, believe me. I recommend the 8-pin Train-O-Matic decoder. Also the Hornby J15s, again, out easy to DCC fit. Good value locomotive. And a third and final good value locomotive, I'm going to say the Bachmann K3 class. Again, easy to fit 8-pin DCC decoder. So, Alistair McCallum says, Hi Jenny, greetings from Glasgow. A quick question, what would you say the most scenic line in A, Scotland, B, Wales, and C, England is? Gosh, a big thank you as well for £5 donated on the super chat. That is incredibly kind of you. But the most scenic railway line in Scotland, I think that probably has to be the, is it the Mallaig to Fort William line? I've never been on it, but it includes the that curved viaduct that features in that Harry Potter rubbish that I don't like. But certainly it's a very scenic line. In terms of other scenic lines in Scotland, actually near Riccarton Junction on the Borders Railway, if that line were still open, there's some great vistas there, and I think near Whitrope Tunnel, they have started to rebuild part of that line as a heritage place, and I think the scenery from there would be amazing if only it was still open. B, in Wales, again, Festiniog Railway had amazing scenery. Yeah. The Welsh Highland Railway is very scenic as well, but I think the Festiniog Railway was of a more epic nature. So yeah, I'm going to pick the Festiniog Railway because you didn't specify standard gauge. C, in England, most scenic line in England. That is a very tricky one. I'm really going to have to think about that, but I'm guessing the North Norfolk probably is quite a scenic line. Other places, Hope Valley line, again, very scenic. So yeah, I'm going to say that. A big hello to Wardle Road. Good to see you in, Leslie Gilpin. George Botterini says, thank you, Jenny, you rock. And again, you've donated $4.99 on Super Chat. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you very much for that. Mike and Sue Pudham Junction says Glenfinnan Viaduct. Yes, definitely. Tony Wright, Kyle of Lochhalsh. Yes, definitely. That is another scenic line. I think that definitely it's safe to say that Scotland has more than its fair share of very scenic lines. So yeah, definitely. D827 Kelly, more fitted details and more steps for liveries leads to much higher costs for assembly. Very much so. There are genuine reasons why locomotives, even unpowered ones, cost a lot more than just, say, a simple coach. And I don't really want to get bogged down in the price differentials on that, because I think I don't know enough to be able to justify it well. I think at some point we'll have to get somebody from a manufacturer who's game to take that on to do that. I think that Oh, I thought for a moment you were being sent a message saying our pizza was on its way. But certainly... oh, is our pizza on the way?
No, I made a very popular comic earlier on, and it's being retweeted a lot.
Very much. Now, today's beverage of choice is Stella Artois. Basically,
Stella!
Yeah, Stella! So why Dr. Jekyll, this magic potion that turns you into Master Hyde, looks an awful lot like a 6-pack of Stella. Frankie Boyle joke, not my own. But yeah, I think if somebody from a manufacturer was game to come on and take that one on, I think it would be an interesting debate. I'm not sure that anybody from a manufacturer would want to publicly sort of get the full Paxman treatment on that, but certainly if anybody from a manufacturer goes, yeah, we're game, we'll slap this down once and for all, then I would love to have you on.
That stuff stinks.
It does rather. But I do anticipate that no manufacturer is going to step forward on that one.
Okay, we've got our notes in that the pizza is coming. Oh, Jen.
Oh my word. So
Thank you very much, Viaduct Central.
So Viaduct Central Model Railway has donated £1 on Super Chat. Thank you very much. This is incredibly generous of you. And you guys, you don't have to donate money. It is very much appreciated. But certainly, we always, the big thing with YouTube is free at the point of viewing. Never feel obliged to pay money for anything. Because it is free, but if you really want to support the channel, then very much thank you so much. And it does help support the channel because, as we all know, it is a very expensive hobby, and to be able to buy models to review, it's not all swings and roundabouts. It is a lot of hard work, I have to say, but also things like camera gear is very expensive. Traveling to venues to be able to film stuff, to get into venues as well. I like to pay my way. I don't like to go around going gimme free stuff. I leave that to other people, and they tend to get told where to swing their hump. But thank you very much for that. That was really generous. Russell Benton, that is a fair comment as well. The reason why Hornby charged £260 for a HST, it's because there's no competition, and that's what Hornby believe we will pay for it. It is an interesting point. You could argue that that's what the market will stand, so why not? You know, at the end of the day, all of these model railway manufacturers are in business to make money. This is not a charity. So yeah, you know, at the end of the day, Hornby is slowly paying down that debt, but they're not out of financial dire straits just yet. So you could argue that, you know, they're not in a position to cut you a great deal. If they can sell them at that price, then, you know, good for them. That's how you get rid of that debt. McBenman1 asks, hi Jenny, have you been to the Watercress line or Bluebell line? Funnily enough, I've not been to either of those, but I do want to go to, especially to the Bluebell line. It's one that I have followed avidly. Somerset Andy, a very good evening to Jenny, Zoe and everyone. Good evening to you. And of course, the Somerset Andy Class 47 is currently going around the layout. In fact, it is just about to hove into view in the on-screen view. So any second now, and it is sound fitted, funnily enough. So there we go, there's a blast. But I'm not going to leave that running because I do find the sound a bit annoying after a while. And certainly when you're doing a live stream, it's a bit tricky. Right, anyway. Gary Lester TMD, evening to you. Ben Davis, hi to you. Tony Wright, minus St. Austell tribute bitter from Cornwall. Beverage of choice. Definitely. And there's I must at some point see if one of the local breweries would be interested in maybe bunging a case of real ales in return for being one of the sponsors. But hi to you, Gonads 1259. Stretch Edits, Ben Davis, West Coast Model Railway. The dislike is just an interaction to help the YouTube algorithm. Very much so, and I guess the trolls don't seem to understand that. As I think a lot of people know, there's been a lot of trolling of some of the medium to larger YouTube channels of late, and it's a stream of toxicity that appears to be creeping into certain sectors of the modelling community, and really it's absolutely not welcome. We do not need toxicity in this hobby. It's not welcome. We should not give a platform for that kind of toxicity. Because it's just, it's supposed to be having fun. This hobby is supposed to be about enjoying ourselves and having fun. And, to anybody who's spending all their time on a keyboard, posting nasty comments and going, I'm going to dislike all these people's videos, and posting snarky, snide comments on the Facebook groups and such like, really, you have to ask yourself, do you want to have fun, or do you just want to be a nasty piece of work? Ewood Railway says, please mention how good the Daypole Class 68 is. Yeah, definitely. I have to say, I have been very, very pleased with some of the more recent Daypole offerings. I'm really looking forward to some of the upcoming stuff. I think we've had another super chat come in as well. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But certainly, yeah, the Daypole 29 is an amazing model. A lot of the O-gauge stuff as well. So I'm also, oh my word, Viaduct Central Model Railway as well. I will mention this too. But gosh, everybody's getting in on this now. Viaduct Central Model Railway is giving £2 on the super chat. It says, get yourself a pack of static grass. I've got a drawer full of static grass, it has to be said. But thank you ever so much. And Gary Lester TMD has very, very kindly donated £5 on the super chat. Gosh, you guys, you're so great tonight. But thank you very much. That is amazingly generous. Now, I believe that the Cupboard Monkey has turned up with our tea. Now, this is very bad time management from us, but certainly I want to. Gosh, have we had another one? Oh no, right. So that's just make sure I've not missed anybody. So Viaduct Central. Viaduct Central, brilliant. So I don't want to miss anybody, but that is just incredibly generous of you guys.
Thank you guys.
And don't forget as well, if anybody wants to support the channel on a month by month basis as well, Patreon is a great idea. There's a lot of YouTube channels using Patreon, and Patreon is a great way of supporting content creators to help them to keep making that content, because a lot of us we have another job as well, so time can be very pressing, but quite often it is a lot. Oh, is this mine?
Yeah.
Oh my word. Woohoo! That looks like a veggie one.
That is mine, yeah.
Yeah, so that's yours. But look, thank you very much guys, and definitely Patreon is especially you'll find some of the really small channels as well. So I want to big up some of the smaller channels that do use Patreon. It is a great way of helping some of your favourite content creators. Right, yeah, Rule 1 Model Railways, the thumbs down fairies. Definitely. Mark Wilson, alright my ducks, sorry I'm late, no worries. Southern Train Girl, hi to you. On eBay, the Harry Patch HST set is $580. I'm just going to have to very quickly, hold on.
Oh, you've got another derailment. Oh, naughty.
Yeah, it thought I wasn't looking. Right, what do we got here?
Is that a quick message come through?
Aha, from we've got the Stafford Barn Railway is reopening this weekend with trains running finally. The first weekend event is the 8th and 9th of August, and the Ale Festival is on the 12th and 13th of September. And there's an invite for myself, the Cupboard Monkey, and Les to visit, and they're suggesting in September. And yeah, that's from Garthian, who I couldn't believe that, very, very kindly donated the money to get the Helgen Bay Garrett. But yes, certainly we do really. I think we're going to have to liaise with you and with Les as well. And yeah, I totally agree with you. That is incredibly kind of you, and we would love to come. So
does that mean you have to let Les out of the dungeon?
Out of the modelling dungeon in the skin tight rubber suit. It was in earlier on in the chat room actually. So I think somebody's plugged.
But he wasn't in the skin tight rubber suit. No, in this one. Have some chips.
Oh, thank you very much. D827 Kelly says, as long as your likes outweigh the dislikes, it's all likely to be fine. Very much so. And it's
the thing to remember though is that dislikes don't count as anything more than an interaction from Google's point of view.
Yeah, they don't do what these trolls think they're going to do. Philip Page, aha, local. We've got a good evening from West Auden. At King Fox Junction says, hi Jenny, your hair looks nice tonight. Thank you very much.
That's because she brushed it.
I did, and I washed it as well, and I'm covering up. I'm covering up the marks from shingles as well, which is one of the reasons I've got my hair down. Gonads 12.59, absolutely right. eBay isn't a reliable indicator of price, though some people take the P with their pricing. Andy 1962 says Network Southeast livery guard vans by Bachmann 80s 90s era. Definitely, they are on offer as well. I've seen them at Kernow, and also Rails of Sheffield have the twin pack from Bachmann. And in fact, I think that what may have triggered that is just in shot there at the back. That's the Bachmann set. I did a full box opening and review on those. I'm going to turn this fan on. It's getting warm up here.
You're only doing that so that the smell of mushrooms gets blown to me instead of you.
Feet. But then also,
Jen doesn't like mushrooms.
Ben Davis. Upcoming models that I anticipated is the GWR Class 5101 in BR lined green with Lake Crest and Class 8P. Merchant Navy 462 35024 East Asiatic Company in BR blue. Oh gosh, yes. And early emblem and D class. Yeah, there's so much great stuff coming through.
You're gonna have no wallet left, Jen.
Garthian says you will have to have a ride in the guards van as well. And this is at the Stopford Barn Railway. So that is reopening. It's great to hear that's reopening. And yes, we will definitely make arrangements to come for the September event. So really looking forward to that. Thank you very much. And we'll film a video whilst we're there so we can share the experience with the rest of you guys as well. Yeah, James Moody, that is absolutely right. If you're looking at eBay, check prior sold listings, not just the inflated price some chancer puts it up for. And also bear in mind that sometimes they can get shilled as well, which is where somebody bids on their own items covertly.
And that's true of anything, not just model railways, but anything that's on eBay.
Paul Higgins says, hi Jenny, just bought the Bachmann C-Class cab detailing, is amazing. Definitely, yeah, the Bachmann C-Class, the prices have gone a little bit silly, but it is still a very fine model. And certainly, it was Tim's Trains very generously provided a Bachmann South Eastern and Chatham Railway C-Class in the ornate livery from the new batch that we reviewed on this channel as well. Now, if we are we able to go to the emails, or do you want to stuff your face with them first?
No, I'm fine. What do you want? You want some eBay gums?
If you check in my emails, you will find, a Cura scale. So,
not that she's telling you what else we're going to be looking at here.
A Cura scale has very, very kindly sent over some pictures. Now, these were released in a press release, I think, back on the 7th of July or 10th of July. But they very kindly sent over some high-resolution images, and with these, it is really, really imperative that if you want these, order them or you will miss out, because they are apparently proving incredibly popular. No
idea. You can click all you want.
No, I'm trying to remind myself. There are a lot of places out there you can order these from, but it is advised to order them, because if you wait until they actually hit these shores, then you are going to struggle to get them. So, the first up is the white British Gypsum container. So we're seeing that there on the screen. We did a review of the blue ones, and they actually were top of the list of my item of rolling stock of the year, the PFA wagons. These are exquisite. They're not my time period, but I was blown away by the detail.
I remember you were shocked by them.
And so we've also got the half height. I think these are low-level nuclear waste containers. So these aren't like the glow-in-the-dark nuclear waste. This is stuff like...
nuclear waste doesn't glow in the dark.
No,
well, not all of it anyway. Radium does.
But with this, it's more like used PPE.
Yeah, you don't tend to get radium in nuclear waste. You tend to be making that on purpose.
Yeah. Then the K-Woods coal and the yellow livery. I believe this was how they originally turned up in about 1986. So the triple packs of those are back. I know that these are very, very popular for anybody modelling the 1980s through to the 1990s period. So technically these are within the period that I modelled just. And they do look really interesting, but those PFA wagons are really, really exquisite. Now, that's another view of the half-height triple pack. Again, these sold out last time incredibly quickly.
And you can see why. Even I'm thinking they're quite interesting. That seems to be having a trouble with that point.
It seems to be trying to annoy me. I will get to that in a moment if it does it again. Right, next picture, Cupboard Monkey. Also available. I'm not sure if they've been available separately before, but certainly they are available now. Excuse me, these are the blue British Gypsum containers, available separately as a pack of 3 containers.
And these will be the ones that you can just click onto the top of the carriage. That's pretty cool.
So that also means you can use these as scenic items as well.
Yeah.
So if you want to model, say, a British Gypsum terminal, these are a must. And that's the 3 containers there together. And you can see that there are actually... well, I know when we reviewed them, there are 2 different types of containers. I think, are they all the same?
No, they've got different numbers on them.
Well, no. I mean, like, as in like the ribbing and stuff.
No, they look all the same. It may be that there's different types, but they're all showing the same ones.
But definitely, these I have down currently as my rolling stock of the year from all of my reviews.
And with good reason too.
Yeah, so really, really pleased with these. Right. So Paul Higgins asks, does the oil feeder pipe come on all Q1 locomotives? It should do. If you buy them second hand, then one of the issues you may come up with is that it is an easily damaged part, but it should come with it, I think. Garthian says, I managed to order 2 packs of the low-level nuclear waste ones from the new batch. Perfect for my layout when I build it. Brilliant. Let's have a look. David Cook says, Jenny, love the speed you run your locos at, true scale speed. Well, thank you very much. I do try to. The thing I find is that the slower you run them, the more reliably they tend to run, by and large. So, and also trains look a bit odd when you race them around on a layout like this. But, you know, it's a broad church. Some people like to run them fast, and I've got nothing against that. David Scott says, not wishing to get political, but does the current situation with China have any implications for models coming from Chinese manufacturers?
It probably will.
It may do in the future, but I've not heard any word yet of problems at the moment.
The biggest issue is if anything's coming from Hong Kong right now, because it's a bit of a turmoil. Which is why something I ordered 4 months ago still isn't here. They're just... It's all over the place. Mainland China's not an issue yet, but if things go sour, we could see trade restrictions, which would cause problems. But right now, I don't see it going to that. I don't think either side. I don't like to suggest there are sides, but I don't see either side wanting that to go that far.
DL Warren says, starting to model late 80s, early 90s, so trying to research what stock to run. Well, certainly those Kaywood Cole PFA wagons would fit squarely within that period. Yeah, that coach is...
It doesn't like that point.
See, I think it's the... for some reason, what I'm going to do... This is a top trick, boys and girls. Take the coach, swing it round so it's now the other way round, and put it back in the train and see if that fixes the problem. Because what you may find is 9 times out of 10, turning the coach around is enough to alleviate the issues.
Is this the train equivalent of turning it off and then on again?
No, not entirely. It's like basically try it in the hole the other way around. Right, let's have a different view of the layout there. So a big thank you to Acurascale for sending over those images. Don't forget as well, it's order it or miss out. They are very popular and are likely to sell out very quickly. Big hello to Kelly Ashford. Ewood Railway says, I hope they move the factories to the UK. I'm afraid
it's not going to happen.
The big issue is the cost of labour. Labour costs in the UK are very expensive, which means that would push up the prices. People already complain about the prices, so would you like to see prices doubled for that? I don't think people would.
The more likely thing is if things go wrong with China, we'll end up manufacturing in Indonesia or Africa or parts of India.
But that said, Daypol does manage to manufacture, assemble and finish a great deal of wagons in the UK, so it can be done for some product. And Hornby recently took a lot of the Humbrol paints back in-house, I believe. I don't think they're made in the UK, but certainly they moved them a little bit closer to home from when they've gone out to China, because there'd been some serious quality control issues.
And that, if anything, is going to be the thing that stops us manufacturing there, rather than anything else. So you need to be able to keep an eye on your quality.
Russell Benton, yeah, it still costs a fortune to make stuff in the UK, but I hope Hornby don't have all eggs in China basket. I hope they're looking at places like Vietnam or Slovakia. I'm sure they will be.
That's an interesting one, Slovakia. It's relatively close, so you don't have the lead times on the transport. Plus, it's fairly cheap.
And also the culture is more commensurate with what we have in the UK. Dealing with China tends to be, you're dealing with a very different culture.
And it is, and that's not saying anything bad. It's just the fact. It's a very different culture. For thousands of years, they evolved along different lines.
Why is there mushroom on my pizza?
There's not supposed to be.
You're going to have to contact them.
I didn't ask them for no mushroom. I forgot.
You're going to have to contact them. It's like...
I'm sorry, I didn't ask them for no mushroom, so I can't contact them.
Do you normally ask for no mushroom on it?
I haven't since we started ordering yours.
Well, then they've changed it. You're going to have to get in contact with them. It's check the menu, what it says should be on there. I can't eat it.
Okay, but what you're asking me isn't going to solve anything.
This isn't actually... this isn't the donor meat feast. There's no donor meat on it for a start. This is something else. This isn't my pizza. Can I leave you to sort that whilst I do? So I'm allergic to mushrooms. Are you people what are wondering...
That's my pizza. Yours is behind you.
Oh. Oh. Right, well, in that case, problem over. What are you doing putting it at my feet then? Right.
That's your pizza.
Oh, right, yes.
Hey!
You're right. It looks like...
my pizza on this.
Well, I wasn't going to swallow it, was I?
Complaining that my pizza isn't suitable for your palate.
Yeah. Melchester Model Railway says Mushroom Gate is kicking off.
Can't believe you did this.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I can't believe you did this.
Yeah.
It's a typical Jenny Power move.
Right, Gary Lester TMD, what pizza you got? I've got the Donner Meat Feast.
Whereas I have a proper pizza of vegetables.
Yeah. Right, somebody did ask a question here that said, yeah, Christian Kenny says, hoping to get one of a Curascale Class 55. I'm very much looking forward to those and the 37s as well. And actually, from what I've seen of some running footage of one of the samples of the Class 55, it is truly amazing. I am so looking forward to that, and I believe that Curascale have mentioned that they will be making one available for me to review, so I will really look forward to doing that and letting you guys see what they are like as well. Right, I just need to double check. Let me just double check something.
Double checking what?
Right, so we've already mentioned the Oxford Rail, the tanker wagons are imminent. In fact,
I'm sorry, 5735 Northern Princess. Real pizza is ham and pineapple. It is not.
Actually, I like a Hawaiian pizza. It's quite nice.
Pineapple, yes. Ham, no.
Right, let's have a look. What Oxford Rail has said is tank wagons are due any day, so they're basically imminent, followed by the remaining N7s, excuse me, then later on with J27. No dates at the moment, but things are progressing again. So that's where we're up to on those.
Kelly Ashford says, ladies, does it matter whose pizza is whose? Yes, because Jen can't eat mushrooms and I can't eat meat.
Just got a message from Guion Reese Davies. Says, "Evening, Jenny. Watching your stream at the moment, and chat is flooded. It does get like that, I'm afraid. So I hope you don't mind me direct messaging. Did the package get to you all right? It did. So as well, I haven't yet got round to reviewing them. They came, I think it was yesterday. So we've got Model Tech Pro Track Rail Aligner. This will be coming up in an upcoming review. So I'm just going to try and hold that up to there, if people can read that. This is a product for aligning your tracks across baseboard joints, especially useful for things like exhibition layouts. So what are we
That's an interesting comment that I think would make a hell of a debate.
Yeah, actually, I'll come to that in a moment, so keep that handy. But as you can see, these are effectively ready-made sleeper sections for 00, but they also do other gauges and scales. So I believe 016.5 I did see on the list as being an upcoming product, so they will have the right...
remarkably stretchy as well.
Well, no, they're held together by an elastic band.
Okay.
And you see they've got like a sawtooth edge that positively aligns them first time every time. You then solder your track to there, and it gives you that solid edge to your track at the baseboard edge that protects it from damage, but then also allows for a very, very accurate track alignment when you reconnect your baseboards. So that is a product that I will be reviewing later on, probably next week or the week after. But definitely thank you very much to Model Tech for the Pro Track Rail Aligner, sending that over for review. So yes, very much, it did arrive safely. Thank you very much for that. Right, so just give me one moment.
Okay, so while Jenny's typing, Stretch Edit says, don't you get fed up with having to pre-order a new product before you even see one, else you miss out? I would like to see new locos, especially before buying one, but wait and you miss out. Now, I understand what he's saying there, because it's like, do I really, really want this? Is it going to be exactly what I want? But I can't wait to find out, because if I wait, I miss out.
It is an issue, and I guess it's, you know, back in the good old days, it used to have like 7 items in the catalogue for years and years, and they'd never changed their running numbers, but it gave you plenty of time to save up to buy one. You knew what you were aiming for. At the moment, with a lot of things, you have to anticipate if it's going to be popular, it will sell out on pre-orders, and we saw that with the Hornby Rocket, for example. We've seen it before with the W4 packets in the Huntley and Palmer's livery.
In fact, the Rocket ran out so quick that while you were on your live stream, you said, I'll have to order one afterward, and you couldn't get the one you wanted.
Couldn't get the Triumph one. It gone. And I guess it shows that there's a healthy demand for these things. But it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? There's a lot of times, what you don't see are the models where they overproduce them, the demand's not there, and you end up with models being sold at less than cost price, like 8 months, 10 months, a year down the line, and the companies end up losing money on that. And also you've got to remember there's retailers caught in the mix as well, potentially losing money. So I guess they have to hedge their bets. It is an expensive hobby. I know it's an annoyance for a lot of us, but I guess it's the trade-off that we get because there's so many high-quality, expensive models coming through. It's not the same 7 models in the catalogue for 10 years straight. And you know, the trade-off to be getting that is that you have to pre-order, I guess.
Yeah, James Moody sums this up very much. In an environment where A, there's a decent chance the manufacturer messes it up and I won't actually want that one, and B, I can't afford everything I want anyway, pre-ordering is like Russian roulette.
Yeah, I mean, there's been items that I've pre-ordered, and you can now get them in the sales because it turned out they weren't as popular.
Only you wanted it.
Yeah. So there's been wagons. In fact, there's one trundling around now behind the Class 27. You'll see it at some point come round on this track, and it's the barrier wagon at the front of the train. I pre-ordered that. I bought it when it came out, and then you can still find it in some model shops now. It's not one that sold particularly well.
Gary Lester says, how big is the layout, Jenny? Because it looks massive. It's bigger than it looks on the screen.
It's about 20 feet that way, by 18 feet the other way, and the boards are around 4 feet wide, maybe. Yeah, about, let's say about 4 feet deep, down to I think 2'6" deep over in the shallowest area. So there's a lot of real estate up here.
It's basically the footprint of the centre of the house.
Yeah, I basically filled my loft. I didn't measure it, I just filled the loft.
Oh, here's a fun question. Tim Condrup says, if you eat mushrooms, Jenny, what does it do to you? Jenny becomes rocket propelled. Let's put it that way.
I get a very bad upset stomach, and it upsets downwards.
Yeah, she's it's like a poison to you, really, isn't it?
Bang Got You Junction Carl Braun said, would the Pro-Track rail alignment work on a cassette fiddly yard? Actually, I believe it would. If you made a cassette that would then line up to that jaw tooth, it would give you very positive track alignment first time, every time. So yes, I could see that definitely working. And certainly when the O-gauge ones reach the market, I'm quite interested in making cassettes to go with the O-gauge layout that I've got underneath here, which is essentially a scenic board, but it would allow me to actually use it as a layout.
Now here's an interesting point from Rob Arnold, going back to the pre-orders. A problem with pre-order is there are people who do so just to sell it on at a greater inflated price. Scalpers are awful. Scalpers should not be allowed into any hobby at all. They ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, do you see that? Things like rock concerts especially. But we've seen that with the Rocket, with them changing hands for like £300 odd. We saw that with the first release, the Bachmann C Class in the ornate SECR livery, where they were going, I saw them up to £550. And yeah, you could argue the manufacturer should have made more, but it's easy to say that with hindsight. We're seeing it recently with the Bachmann S stock that was done for London Transport Museum, and there is actually a listing on eBay, I believe, at the moment, where it's gone over £5,000 for a model that would have been maybe £200 when it was new.
Wow.
So the prices can get unreal, and a lot of this is fueled by scalpers.
Yeah.
But it's always nice when they get badly burnt.
Oh, that happens sometimes in the retro gaming community. And actually the modern gaming community as well. Some scalpers bought up every single copy they could of the special edition tin plate version of Halo 2. And it turned out that Microsoft had made more of those than the standard edition, simply to screw over the scalpers. So I thought, yes, that's brilliant.
I think what's fun is that when they just make more.
Yeah. And that's the thing, these scalpers don't actually have a product. As long as the manufacturer knows that there's demand, they can make more. The scalper can't.
I remember Model Zone had a big problem back in the day with the scalpers buying up the RTC livery stuff. And I remember talking with somebody at the Model Zone down in Manchester, and they said that they got wise to certain individuals trying to buy 30, 40 or even 50 of a particular model, knowing that they would then turn it around and sell it for double the price on eBay. So what they did was they actually only let each customer was allowed a maximum of 2 of any one item on pre-order. But they didn't tell the scalpers this until just before it was being delivered, knowing that the scalpers would start selling them on eBay prior to them being delivered, which they duly did, and then suddenly found that they didn't have the stock to fulfill the transactions that they'd done, and effectively got their accounts banned from eBay for violation of the rules, because they were selling a product they didn't actually own.
Excellent. Kelly Ashford is saying, where are my beloved steam trains? The railway isn't the same without them. I'm sorry, but I'm a bit upset as well. Not for the reason that Kelly's saying, because I'm not really interested in steam trains, but where are the Gronks?
They're about.
I need some Gronks. Gronk it up, baby. Gronk it up.
You're pointing at these, They're not Gronks.
No, they're not Gronks, but they're in a position that Gronks could be.
There's Gronks to the left of you.
Gronks to the left of me, not to the right. That's not good enough. I need some over there too.
There's one over there.
That's acceptable. Gronk it up, baby.
But no, we're having a change. We've been running it. We started out with sort of like 1920s liveries, and we worked up, and we stuck at BR Steam for several weeks. But I do like a change. Change is as good as a rest.
Sometimes. Keep Calm Make Stuff says, sorry if you've answered this already, Jenny, but what was the outcome with the frazzled decoders? Did you get to the bottom of it?
We think, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, DCC Concepts very, very kindly rushed out some power power bus suppressor stroke terminator kit. And what we think might be happening is that a minor short, say when a wagon wheel is going across a point fob, is causing a spike in the system. And what I actually need is effectively bus suppression to iron out those spikes.
That's right, suppress those buses, keep them down.
So they've rushed out 3 packs of these, and I will be fitting them, so hopefully that will resolve the problem. But at the moment, we think that's the problem, but we won't know for certain until we fit them. And even then, it's simply a case of if nothing ever blows, then sooner or later we go, yeah, I think that was the problem.
New Mills says, ooh, Gronk a little bit, ooh, Gronk a little bit more.
No.
Yes, I agree there, New Mills. Excellent.
At some point, maybe we'll have a Gronk fest. Because I do have, I think it's about 14 of them. Oh my word, I've just been notified that the paypal.me has, let me just log in to double check, but we have had a very generous donation on the paypal.me link that you also find down below. So Mark Wilson, oh my word, we've had 2 actually. Andrew Finch and Mark Wilson have both donated £5. I'm really sorry, I forgot to check that. I said, oh, I'll be checking this, and then I didn't. So Andrew Finch and Mark Wilson, that is incredibly generous of both of you. Thank you ever so much for that. And we're going to be putting that towards the Class 40 fund, imminently arriving. I guess these are probably, for me personally, these are some of the sleeper anticipations of this year. The Class 40, for a long time people have been saying, oh, you need a Class 40. And I totally agree with you, actually. I went to a Class 40 event at the East Lancs Railway and I thought, yeah, actually, I quite like these. I even got one of the Hornby Class 40 TTS sound chips ready for it. But of course, Bachmann then slighted me by not having any available for a good long time. But finally, we've got the next new batch of the Class 40. So yes, Weiryard will be getting a Class 40, excuse me. I've got that in my shopping basket ready to go. So all monies donated are going towards the Class 40 fund at the moment. But thank you ever so much for that to Mark Wilson and Andrew Finch.
Someone's adjusted the comic on it.
What have they done?
The abstract pushes through the side of them.
I
wish I'd thought of that.
So how are we doing now on the? I'm really sorry if there's so many comments come in, and this is something that it does happen all the time, and I'm really sorry about this. And you know, I'm really adamant that I know a lot of people very, very generously donated on the super chat. You shouldn't have to donate on super chat to make your comment more visible. Please don't do that. Just keep asking the question. If I don't get to your question, then just ask it again. Hopefully at some point I will spot that. But it is really, really hard to actually keep up. We've got Cottismore in. I see we just seen Cottismore coming in through. Evening to you. And actually that reminds me as well. Don't forget as well that it's a lot of the small and medium-sized YouTube channels do benefit greatly if you want to support them to help make great content. don't forget to check them out on Patreon. We got a Patreon account. I know a lot of the other smaller YouTubers as well have Patreon accounts, and it's a massive help to them if you want to support a particular channel. Yeah, definitely. It really is a massive help. So that is there as well.
I just want to interrupt this broadcast to bring you very important information. Rob Fletcher has posted on Random Nerd Chat that tonight at 20 past 8 and 20 seconds in military time, it will be 2020. That's all. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Is that the point? Passing overhead at 4,000 miles? Say something, I've got my mouth full.
Just rapping like it ain't no thing. Beatbox. And it's true. At 2020, it's all the information's gone. That's no good. It's all disappeared.
But as well, just big thank you to all of you guys joining us here on the Monday night. It's always great to have you in. And don't forget as well, if you haven't already done so, do tickle that like button and show your appreciation for the show. And share the stream as well. Let other people know that Monday Club is live and dangerous. And we've got a new t-shirt as well, which hopefully some of you guys will really love. That should be percolating through into the Teespring store that you see somewhere down below. I don't think it's there yet, but it will be at some point.
If it's there, I'll link it in the chat.
Flymo Chairman 1. Boom! Oh yeah, that was the thing as well. Has anybody actually ordered any of the books? Because today we are sponsored by All Mouse Media, who are the publishers of, amongst other things, my books, Zoe's books as well. But following on from last week, had really generous support from you guys for some of my science fiction books, and we're offering that deal as well again for the pair of them. If you want them signed, we will do the signing whilst we're on the live stream. I don't know if anybody's actually ordered.
I haven't been checking. I've been going through the comments,
but they are also available.
No one today. Maybe you didn't tell them, so you know.
No, do the beginning. Oh, now that's a good choice. Jackie, LFC, Gerard. Hi, Jenny and Zoe. Thanks once again for letting me back in the charts. I hope you both are well.
I still don't know why she was not in it.
I don't know what's happened there. So I like tuna and pineapple. That is actually a good combination. I actually really quite like. I like a seafood pizza, but without the mussels.
You like to seafood and then eat it.
I don't like mussels and cockles. Not them, but everything else. I do like that on a pizza. Lee Holden says, have you seen the photo from Worth Valley Railway of the new bridge being installed? No, I haven't actually. I must go and look at that. Are you okay, Cupboard Monkey?
I'm just dying off. Okay, the new t-shirt is going into the chat now. That's the link.
Brilliant. Gonads 1259 points out, quite rightly, there isn't a 20th month though.
No, that would be weird if there was, though, wouldn't it? Although, just wait, because 2020 has done some weird things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we could just keep going after the 12th.
Jay has said, did you know Wortley has been cancelled this year? Yes, for some reason I just managed to lose the chat. Yes, I did see that, and unfortunately I think pretty much everything's going to be cancelled this year in terms of shows. Anything that's not being held outdoors is going to be quite tricky. I've heard it be said that Alexandra Palace next year is possibly going to be the first big show, or the next big show to actually go ahead. Mark Wilson, oh brilliant. This week I won the Super Model Rail Network Facebook site header competition, so my picture stays up for a week. Please check it out. Oh, good work, sir. Good work. Kelly Ashford. Oh, that's a bit harsh. Diesel fans need to rethink. Diesels are for non-believers. Electricity is wrong. Steam has got the power that will pull us along.
I got the power. Bum, bum,
now,
bum, bum.
Tell me, Kelly, what happens when you flick your light switch at home? And also, how's your connection to the internet working? It's electricity. Sorry to point it out. But,
Gary Lewis says, you need a bottle of Stella, Zoe. No.
Yeah, she doesn't drink.
No, alcohol would actually kill me.
The TARDIS, we've got, where's the comment? Dave Greening.
Are you dematerialising the TARDIS?
Where is the TARDIS? The TARDIS is here. So I'm going to put it there for now. Which I'll move it forward, then it put it
can
there,
be seen.
Actually. Right. Gary Lester TMD says, how's the pizza? Very nice, thank you very much. J94, I'm confused by what Zoe just said. You're not the only one, actually. It does happen a lot.
Sorry.
Kevin ZZ said, actually, it'll be 2020, 2007, 2020. So, right. Richard Swiderski says, I was looking for the TARDIS but not seen it yet. It was actually hiding behind the cupboard monkey. In fact, would it have actually been in shot? Oh, it would have been just out of shot there.
Have you just put the TARDIS in and then switched cameras so that people can't see it?
I was just checking to see whether the TARDIS had actually been in shot, but it was literally like inches away from being in shot. Right, Matt Maz 2, evening to you. DL Warren, any book promotion tips because I've run out of ideas? To be honest, when I was working full time as an author, the best promotion was doing book signing tours. To be honest, but they're a lot of hard work, and we did a national book signing tour 2 years straight around pretty much all of the Waterstones. And it is a lot of legwork. You have to really work at it. Success doesn't generally come on a plate. We did to conventions as well.
The book tour was hard work on the back end and while you were there. It was hard work getting into the branches of the bookshops because most just don't want to know. And then when you're there, most people that come past you, they've come into the bookshop for a specific book and it won't be yours. So you have to deal with having to put a brave face on the fact that most people will just blank you and walk past you.
Including at a sci-fi convention. I got blanked by somebody I knew. They were like, hello.
Yeah, that was rude of her.
And it's like...
A fellow author as well.
Yeah, she's a fellow author. And she blanked me like I wasn't there. And it's like, what do you think I'm going to give you the hard sell in the third degree? I want to say hello because I know you. Yeah. And I've never forgotten that, and that was over 10 years ago now.
Yeah, Jen doesn't hold grudges, but if there was an Olympic event for holding grudges, she would come first. And if she didn't, she'd remember.
I'm always perfectly nice to her face, but...
I'm joking with you.
Yeah, but then when she had her debut book published, I thought, well, I'm not going out of the way to buy it after, the way you treated me.
Not that she holds a grudge.
But certainly at the moment, if you buy through the All Mass Media page,
We've had someone do that. I would suggest that we actually sign it afterward when you've had a chance to clean your hands.
Actually, yeah, you don't want your greasy fingerprints and your book smelling vaguely of pizza.
Yes, but thank you, guys.
But thank you very much, and we will sort that out, and we'll sort any out. If anybody else wants to buy the books, we will be doing personalised signing of those, but also you can get the comic collections, but they come from Amazon,
and therefore we can't.
We can't sign, even though we've actually got a mound of the books. We must set up a means where we can do a special during.
We never had a chance.
We'll do that maybe for next time.
Yeah. I was working until like 2 minutes before we went live, so I just haven't had a chance, man.
J. Paul Anderson says, Jenny, do you watch Sargon of Akkad?
I don't think you even know who he is.
I do. Who are they? Do you know who
He's an extreme right-wing podcaster. Sometimes he makes a decent point, but most of the time he's really preaching to people who already think the way that he does. So you either like him or you don't.
I'll be honest with you. I tend to steer clear of politics. I actually very rarely even tell people honestly who I vote for. And whilst I have stood for election, I will let it be known that on at least one occasion I voted for another candidate in the election that I stood in, just on principle that I really don't like politics.
That is amazing.
Yeah, and I thought actually at the count, I thought, what happens if I get 0 votes? People are going to look at me and laugh and go, didn't you bother to vote for yourself?
In situations like that, the best thing to do is say, oh, I'm sorry, I was so busy campaigning for the people support and trying to do the best for my community that I forgot to go to the polling with. There's always a way to spin it. Sorry, I am a politician. I have ways of spinning everything.
No, you just say you voted tactically to keep the absolute and utter shower out who you thought was really bad for the community.
Which the response would be, so you didn't vote for yourself. Because the other side has ways of spinning things too, Jen.
Right,
But yeah, Jen doesn't do politics, she leaves that to me.
Jay says, I love steam, diesel and electric power.
Well, all at the same time.
There's not much I don't love when it comes to British trains. I must admit, yeah, actually there's some really great stuff.
I'm betting one of the things that you don't love is the fact that Southern Rail doesn't stick to its timetable.
Yeah. Ooh, Brian Moser, big hello to you. It's my birthday today and had to work. I must admit,
birthday.
Happy birthday, actually. But it's one of those things, actually. It's very rare that I bother to book my birthday off, and it has been that case for probably about 20 years. I guess when you get older, birthdays are less special to some degree. I don't know, how do you find them?
I always try to have my birthday off, and then Jen always, without fail, for the last 3 years, has had me film a 45 to 50 minute special episode of her channel, which always has to be edited on my birthday. So I haven't had a day off on my birthday for 3 years.
Can you hear that?
And I never let her forget it.
Does anybody else hear a violin playing? Oh, that's it. Here it is. It's the smallest violin in the world, and it's playing a tune, all for you.
This is what I have to put up with.
You don't have to, you get to.
I'll tell you one thing though, the hard work has paid off. It's something that I'd like to say to all of the small YouTubers who are, because it's become quite a crowded market, they find it difficult to get seen. Keep going. It took Jen, how long have you been on YouTube? 9 years?
No, it's about 12.
12 years. But yeah, but it's, how long have you been putting out content? It's like 7 to 9 years?
About 12 years.
Yeah, that's how long of just constantly trying your best with every single thing you put out.
It doesn't come just overnight.
It really doesn't.
Right.
Anyone who seems to be an overnight success has put a lot of time in that you just haven't seen.
Good evening to Sparky 107. Great to see you in. And how's the Helix coming along? Have you got that working okay? I know you had a few issues before. It's great to see you in. Crossways Point Junction, past the pizza round, Jenny. There's I've still got actually quite a lot down here.
I'm not sure we can download it through the web chat.
I actually found out the bit from the middle that stops the box from sticking to your pizza, has a special name. And I can't remember what it's called.
Box tent.
Box tent. That's a box tent. It has a name.
Although I would actually say it's more like a table.
Well, yeah, could be. But there's the pizza. Anybody want some pizza?
Kevin says, when you reach my age, 60 in 2 months' time, birthdays are tried to forget about. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm coming up to 40 and I don't want to forget about them yet. Jen probably does because she's older than me.
We also got Gary Lewis saying, just a little plug, on Monday Club night, I am making another cuppa in my JK Monday Club mug. Thank you very much. Don't forget as well. So we've got, I can do one better. We can very carefully try not to drop it and break it. There's the JK cup. Jenny Monday Club, available in a range of different colour schemes. So that is brilliant. Thanks very much for your support. And of course, buying merchandise is another great way that you can support any channel that does merchandise, not just this one. And have a great product as well. We've got that new t-shirt that's just come out too. But right. Kelly Ashford says it should be steamy night. We had all steam all the time for several weeks, so...
J. Paul Anderson says, Jenny, you're continually stuffing your face in every episode. That's not true. Last week you had a drink as well. So there was that. It's like a community thing. We're having a bite to eat and a chat and enjoying the trains. It's like a community just getting together thing. That's the kind of atmosphere we're going for.
It's like when you go out and socialise, you go down somewhere like to the pub or the beer garden. So
yeah, you might have a packet of nuts or a bowl of crisps.
The thing I always wonder is, do people who are from overseas, somewhere where they don't have pubs, they just have bars and stuff, does the word pub sound really stupid to you? Because The more I think about it, the more I think pub just sounds like a really stupid word. It's just that we're so used to it, we don't notice.
Most words sound stupid to people who don't know them. Like trowel. Why is trowel such a strange word?
Okay, anyway, moving swiftly on.
Because you have trowels and they dig in the garden, but you have owls and they fly. So how are they linked?
Sherry Zioli, learning from experience is not holding a grudge. Yeah, I don't agree with you. I mean, we jest about it, but actually, I tend not to hold grudges. You've been holding grudges for years. You can't let go, but I'm like...
I try my best to forgive and forget, but my problem is that if I'm holding a grudge, it's because someone did something really, really bad. And that's just how it is.
Oh, Kelly Ashford really wants to see a steam locomotive, so let's see. What are we...
Put your favourite on, you know you want it.
No, I've got greasy fingers, so it's got to be something I can just grab and put on the track in one fell swoop without sticking greasy fingers onto the thing. There we are. Right, okay.
It's not in shot. Ah, made you look.
It is in shot. There you are. It's a pannier tank. 3650 loco. 3650. Bish, bosh, bosh, boosh.
Mark Wilson says internet trowels are the worst.
Yeah, they are. This hasn't run in a long time, so let's... I'm going to send it on a chasing cord.
Leslie Gilpin says many people don't know how to spell drawer. The one that really annoys me is most people don't seem to know how to spell clothes. It's like, I'm selling some new cloths. It's like, okay, are you selling them in bolts? It just annoys me.
Oh, the one that always gets me is there, and there.
Mark Wilson also says, Jenny, no, don't give in to kettle fans.
It's on its last run to the scrapyard. So there we go. We've got... I've got to be careful because it'll just end up slamming into the other one. But
you got your choo-choos.
There we are. There's a steam train. We've had a steam train running. What more can you ask for?
Whoa, whoa.
So there it is, coming round. So there you are. Right, and oh, and I'm gonna have to, because I need to read the comments. I can't just leave it running, because it'll end up causing an incident. Right, there we go. What have we got? You're gonna?
No, you moved, and I finally got a bit of breeze from the fan.
Oh right, okay. James Moody says extreme right wing. LOL. Oh, I think we're talking about that blogger.
Yeah,
right.
The thing is that no, let me just explain
this.
this. Extreme doesn't necessarily mean like far on one end. You have the moderates, and then everyone else is an extremist. That's how it works. The moderates are in the middle, the extremes are on the sides.
Sure, it's a sliding scale.
It is, but the moderates goes for quite a way on either side.
Talk trains, what's like,
you have extreme, moderate, centrist, moderate, extreme. That's how it is. Just it's not a pejorative term necessarily.
I meant talk about trains.
I can't talk about trains. You get me up here to press the buttons and make the stream work. I don't know now about trains. Your thing's broken again. See, everything comes apart.
That was doing so well.
Yeah, well, they've decided not to.
Right, I did have a point to make.
No, you didn't.
Mark Wilson asks, is that a green 33 or 26 running? It looks a beauty. Right, we actually
is that
have
the one with
both.
The
at some point coming around on this track over here, that with the white roof is a class 33 in green, but with tops number.
There it is.
It's actually 33008, which I think is Eastleigh. That is a Helgen Class 33.
And it's really eye-catching.
It is, but we also have a Helgen Class 27 as 27001 in BR green. So we do actually have both going around. So you're right on both counts. Actually, no, you said 26. It's actually 27, but you know it's similar. Ben Tullett says, I see 2 unhappy trolls disliking tonight.
Oh, I did. 117 likes though, 251 watching mine. So hammer that like button. It really helps.
The like button if you haven't already done so. And also share the stream too. Let other people know about the stream. As we've kind of drifted off topic a little bit. I am curious, what other products are people really anticipating? I've seen the Helgen 45 mentioned on the Facebook group, and certainly that is one I'm looking forward to. The Duchess of Athol as well, which is imminent from Hornby. That is one that I am really looking forward to as well. Not looking forward to when they get charged for it, because it's about £230 or something like that.
You know what I would look forward to? More of the Era 1. I would love to see some of the like the planet and things like that.
Yeah, and the patentee, the lion, old copper knob.
That's the kind of steam engine I like. Something that's got a bit of personality to it.
Somerset Trucking and Transport asks, what is your favourite DMU, Jenny? I must admit, the Class 101 is one which I remember with fondness because they were the last ones running around here of the first generation DMUs. But I really do like in model form, I'm going to say the Class 108. I've got some very early memories of riding in the Class 108 and just being fascinated by the gear change as much as anything. But sitting behind the cab and actually being able to look through the glass back of the cab, through the front cab windows and out down the railway line. I remember going on a trip up to Blackburn, and it was just really, really a happy memory. Peter Watson, my favourite scenic journey in Britain is the line from Folkestone to Dover, the White Cliffs on your left and the Straits of Dover on your right. On a clear day you can see the French coast. Amazing. Excellent. Tim Condrup says from Chester to Holyhead is a good line. I'm well behind on the actually on the comments. Hello to Skipsy Trains. Haven Rail has ordered the t-shirt. Thank you very much for that. Rule 1 Model Railway, 40 more subs here this week. Well done. That is actually great. You're picking them up faster than me. You're going to be overtaking me soon. Sparky 107, Helix is working for the most part. Brilliant. James Pets, the box tent looks like an O-gauge outdoor plastic table. You probably could actually do that. Simon Trains MRS, on my main channel Simon Trains, it'd taken me 10 years to just get 4,000 subscribers. And what you probably find is that the next 4,000 subs will take you a fraction of that time.
I've been on YouTube more time than 10 years now. I've only got 1,000.
Anyway, Kelly Ashford, did you not see the steam engine I let run around?
I was sure there you were going to say, did you not see the steam engine that I let rip?
Brian Sims says, hi Jen, still looking for my 101 coach in N-gauge with no luck. Both Hattons and Sheffield rails haven't got any. I would recommend go and have a look at Kernow Model Centre, Invicta Models, Hereford Model Centre, Cheltenham Model Centre, but also some of the smaller places as well. You might get lucky, so they may well be out there. Nick Neumann, isn't Gronk a funny word? I believe that the nickname Gronk came about because it's the noise. It sounds like the noise that they make, like Gronk, Gronk.
Gronk it up, baby.
Right, I'm going to put the lid on that.
It's 8:30, Jen. In 15 minutes we should start doing the videos.
Very much
and
so.
having a look at everyone else's stuff.
Very much. Let me just double check from my emails that we've gone over all of the announcements. And also we've got Andy Finch, I'd just like to say, is a new $5 Patreon. So a big thank you to Andy Finch, who has supporting the channel through Patreon, which is a great way to support any channel on YouTube. It's a good way to support your favourite content creators. So a big thank you to Andy Finch. I'm just double checking. So we've done all the stuff I was emailed by manufacturers. Let me just double check as well on the PayPal front that I want to make sure that I name check anybody and everybody. When I go quiet, you can jump in.
I am looking for things to talk about. That's the thing. It's like...
No, that's fine. I didn't want to. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody out. And also, let's... At some point, I'll get the right button here, you know?
No, you won't. You're terrible at this technology thing. Anything that's more technological than an abacus, and you have to get other people to help you.
Also, I've got a link here I just want to share. This is from NWINS 3D. They sent in, which is the Cambrian Railways and GWR absorbed Hunslet. And this is showing it fully finished. So I'm just going to share this with you guys.
While you're doing that, Mark Wilson has an excellent comment. The Gronks are the most underrated locomotive ever. A real unnoticed workhorse. Hail the Gronk. Yes, Gronk it up.
Gronk it up.
Gronk it up. Gronk it up, baby.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the Class 8 diesel shunter, and also some of its derivatives, such as the Class 9 and the Class 13, are great locomotives. And of course, don't forget that Helgen, in association with, I believe, Model Rail, are doing the Class 11 and the Class 12, which outwardly very similar, and they were part of the slight different designs that were ordered by different regions of British Rail and the like. So different engine options, and of course the Class 12 has those box wheels. That really is not happy there, is it?
No, you're having real problems with that one. So Kelly says, I know you have a lot of steam already, but would you consider squeezing in a new Dapol Manor engine next year?
Very much so. I have to say, it is definitely one that is on my list. I'm really looking forward to that. Also the D class as well. Looking forward to that. That's
is that the one that when we went to that event you went, oh my goodness, audibly on the video while I was recording.
I can hear that doing its special dance there. That's...
Logan Clary says he's gronking right now, Triang style. Excellent, that's a good news.
Right, I'm going.
And we've also got Austin Allegro saying, looking forward to Hornby's APT. Is that something you'd consider, or is it too late a time period?
No, the APT, I think that turns up sort of late 70s, early 80s. It's one of those things, I did contemplate ordering one from Hornby, but in all honesty, I have to say that, you know, sometimes when all of these different things come through at the same time, you have to kind of decide, what am I going to order, and what I would like, but I'm going to have to say, look, I'm going to have to pass on that. I just can't afford everything. And the APT very much fell into that category for me. That I was already ordering, that the must-haves for me was the W1, the Hush Hush. I've got one of those on order. The Duchess of Atholl, the Hornby 001, got one of those on order. And they were like must-have items. And there's also a few items of rolling stock, some of which have just come through recently. I did post on the Facebook group about that. The London and South Western Railway 3-plank open, and the Great Western Railway 3-plank open as well, but it's in a livery that suits Era 2 into Era 3, which is why I went for that. The London and South Western Railway 3-plank open, I've still got it, even though a lot of people are saying it should actually be in a red oxide livery and not that chocolatey brown. But pre-grouping rolling stock is so difficult, and I do feel that the Hornby New Tools 3-plank open wagon is one of the best on the market for that kind of period, because it is eminently suitable for pre-grouping liveries. So I'm really happy to add them to my my collection.
Anti-1962 is singing Gronk It Up Baby, Twist and Gronk. Yes.
Mark Wilson asks, Jenny, would you ever consider putting catenary on your layout? I have thought about it.
What's catenary? For those of us that don't know.
It's the overhead electric lines.
Ah.
I thought about it, but I've chosen not to. I think it's too easily damaged. It would make track cleaning difficult. And the East Coast main line and the top end of the West Coast main line as well, that kind of flimsy 1980s electrification I really don't like. If I was going to electrify it, I'd probably go for that much more robust, like 1960s electrification scheme portals and wiring, but that is it's a lot of work, and I feel that it would obscure too much. So I'm going to take a conscious decision not to add catenary to Weir Yard.
James Moody has an interesting solution to some of this. I'm planning to put the masts up and not bother with the actual wires.
That is actually a very, very good way of doing it.
Yeah.
Kelly Ashford says, I have the Bachmann mainline version of Earl Stoke Manor and she runs perfectly. Yeah, a lot of the older models, if well looked after and maintained, are actually quite credible models. Certainly, I've just DCC fitted. It's Dominion of... I think, is it Dominion of Canada or Commonwealth? No, Commonwealth of New Zealand, which is an older split chassis Bachmann A4, and it does still look good enough that I'm happy to keep it alongside the Super Detail Hornby model. You can tell the difference, tend to push it more towards the back, but it does still hold its own in my current fleet. So there are a lot of great locos out there. I've got a J39 as well, which I've also converted that as well, which I'm really actually more than happy with. Rubik's RX says, what I really struggle with is the price of modelling here in Ireland. A loco in the UK for £299 could cost me €375, excluding postage and packaging. Yeah, that is definitely very expensive, and I guess with the Irish model railways, I do know that Accurascale also cater for the Irish market. Sometimes in many respects, Irish modellers have kind of got the rough end of the stick because they've had to make do with 00 models, even though the track gauge in Ireland, that is at 5'3", so it is wider gauge, and you've got to think that 00 is already slightly on the narrow side. So you end up with models that are woefully out of scale and generally just rebadged UK outline stuff. So the Ginties did get released in Northern Counties Commission. Bachmann did do, in conjunction with Murphy Models, was it the Class 141 diesels? But Accurascale do also do some of the Irish wagons. So they are coming to the market, but very much it is very difficult for modellers of the Irish scene. Let's have a look. Right, Ben Tullett asks, also Daypol are doing a competing GWR large prairie loco to go against Hornby's. Yes, I did ask about this. They are on track and they're hoping for EP samples in the next couple of months, I believe my contact said. So that is progressing. It'll be interesting to compare them side by side, but of course Hornby has got theirs to the market first, and that is always worth an awful lot. We've seen that with the battle of the Adams radials, but also things like the B1s as well, at the standard class 4. There's a number of models where they've gone head to head, and generally speaking, being first to the market does forgive an awful lot. So it'll be interesting to see that. It's going to have the really easy to DCC fit pull out and PCB board, so sound fitting it is going to be a lot easier, and also I think it comes with the firebox below. So there are upgrades to the specification over the Hornby one, but yeah, I think it's a case of, I think both were too heavily committed to pull out of the race once each became aware of the other doing that model. Kevin ZZ said, do third rail. Third rail, actually, I do have a load of third rail. Watch out for a thing I'm doing for Hornby, because third rail will be included in that, hint hint, but not up here. Somerset Andy said, if it wasn't for the APT failing, we wouldn't have had the HSTs for over 40 years. That is true.
This is getting warm up here.
It always does. It always does.
You heard her, guys. She called me a dud.
You are a dud. Big hello to Donegal down, says, yep, 5'3". So definitely. Oh, interesting. Mark Wilson. Jenny, did you see the pictures of the 69 this week? It's a 56 shell with a 66 engine. Looks like a 56 on steroids. Can't wait for a model. I hadn't seen that, but certainly that does sound really interesting. Certainly, I must admit, a lot of people saying, somebody said earlier on in the stream about the Dayport Class 68. That is a model I'm going to have to investigate for a review because a lot of people are saying such great things about them.
Kingspan Cutting says, sorry, really late this evening. Never apologise, you're always on time, don't worry. Just got a Hornby LMS Class 21 Pug and need to fit a decoder. Only place I can see is the smoke box, but you would need to remove the weight. Any ideas?
The Class 21 Pug, I have DCC fitted loads of those, so I'm just looking
looking for one.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking for my example. Right, what we've got here, and that's not easy to see. Come here, where are you?
This is the point where Jen realises that she has too many trains.
No, not possible. There's the one I'm looking for. Right. I'm presuming that you mean this locomotive. I've got here 51222. I used the Train-O-Matic mini 6-pin decoder, but the one that doesn't have a plug, so it's just 6 wires. I then hardwired that with one of the smart power packs, and actually it makes this an incredibly reliable runner.
Did you do a video on it?
Yes, I have done a video, I believe, on that. So there is a video showing you how. I would suggest don't put it in the front, not worth it. Hide it in the cab. That's exactly what I've done, and as you can see there, you can hide them with crew hanging on the side. You can do it with the full-sized, even the 8-pin wired decoder.
Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one.
So the video that I'm going to link it to in the chat is how to make a Hornby Pug your best performing loco on DCC. This is the one about hardwiring it.
Definitely.
So I will link that.
Well worth looking into this, and certainly they are surprisingly easy to DCC fit. Right.
Did you just nick some of my drink?
Maybe.
See that, guys? I do work for her, and she nicks my drink.
Right.
Look at that. Look at that. She's gone for the lot.
Right. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I'm reading about how all the gauges and such came about from a different angle than usual, more like history textbook. Good reading. It is interesting, the battle of the gauges. A lot of the time, I guess it's what the local wagon ways were using. You know, it's said that 4 foot 8.5, which is actually a bit of a weird measurement, was just the distance that the ruts were on the roads that a lot of the horse-drawn wagons were actually straddling, causing these ruts, and they were kind of the origins of the wagon ways. And I've seen it written somewhere that 4 foot 8.5 was the distance from wheel to wheel of the Roman chariots. I'm not entirely sure of the validity of that claim, but certainly, you know, it does sound like plausible. The 7-foot gauge of the Brunelian broad gauge was more a case of Brunel came to it from the point of view of an engineer and thought, what is the optimum gauge for cargo carrying capacity, for smoothness of ride, loading gauge? And that's where the 7-foot gauge actually comes from. That's what happens when you just let an engineer decide the specification. Big hello to the Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout. Base for his railway shed is nearly all dug out. Must have moved around 5 tons of earth. Phew. It's a good workout, isn't it? You don't need gym membership when you're digging holes in your garden. I do sympathise. I've done in the past a lot of digging here in the garden, sorting stuff out. And it is a good way of burning some serious calories. And it's quite surprising at times just how much earth you can move with just a shovel. I've filled a skip in a matter of an hour before now, because the skip was right there, and it's just simply a case of no wheelbarrows were involved, and actually you can move a lot of earth in quite a short space of time. but you do expend a lot of energy for that.
Mark Wilson says, Zoe, have you tried Train Simulator? We've actually tried it together, haven't we?
We have.
And what did you think of it?
I thought it looked really great. It's not my cup of tea, but then I'm not a big gamer, it has to be said. So that's probably what I'll say about that. But in terms of how it looked, I thought it was great. There was that interesting bit. Do you remember where you got out of the train
and we were walking around?
We were walking around on the platform. This train trundles past, and I said to her, "That's your train." "Oh no, it isn't." No. That is your train. And her avatar had to run off down the track from Leeds Station, off the end of the platform, and run down the rails to catch up with the locomotive and climb in. And yes, it was the train. I was right.
I'd forgotten to put the handbrake on. And we hadn't fully stopped.
Pania Tankman asks Jenny, ever had it where you want to get a model but not sure which livery to get? I got that with the Model Rail 16XX. Very much so. I had that actually when I bought my first Class 4. I was torn between the BR Black and the BR Blue. At the time I was modelling BR 1950s, but I just really loved the BR Blue on that. I guess as well, other locomotives, the USA Dock Tank, another Model Rail stroke Bachmann Special Commission, I was very torn on the livery for that. I ended up going for the Longmoor Military Railway one, but there were a couple of others that did take my fancy. Class 14, the Helgen Class 14, we ended up with load haul livery as 14701, but it was torn between that and 14029 in Rail Blue. I'm trying to think what else. There's a few locomotives over the years where really torn on liveries, and when the W4 packet was first announced from Hornby, I couldn't decide, so I ordered all three. And actually really glad that I did. And the reasoning with those was that I knew I needed the Manchester Ship Canal one because my exhibition layout is Trafford Park, so it was an obvious tie-in. The Huntley and Palmer's one just looked so beautiful, I thought, well, I'm not passing that up. And I thought that actually that Dodo in the Works Leaf Green livery was so pretty. I thought, you know what, I might as well have all three.
Okay, we're coming up to the point where we need to do the videos, but there's one thing that's been talked about here. Flymo Chairman 1 says he's been reading about how all the gauges and such came about from a different angle than the usual. It's more like a history textbook. And there's one thing later on in the conversation, some of the gauge choices were politically motivated, such as Spain's gauge, which prevented fast troop movements from France in the mid-1800s.
It's interesting actually, the Russian railways were, I'm trying to remember, I think Russian railways were ever so slightly narrower gauge than neighbouring Balkan countries. And the reason for this was that they figured that if they had slightly larger treads on their locomotive and rolling stock wheels, their locomotives and rolling stock could go onto the other system, but the foreign railways couldn't go the other way because they ended up slipping between the track. And so it was actually a very crafty way that they knew that if they were invaded, the invaders wouldn't have ready-made rolling stock and troop trains that could just go all the way. But if they went the other way, they were not hampered by the same thing. And I believe that that was why, certainly pre-First World War, there was a gauge difference of maybe only an inch or two between the Russian railways and the neighbouring ones.
That is quite crafty. I'd actually be interested in seeing a documentary on something like that. I think that would be fascinating.
Very much. Belmont Junction says, okay, Jenny and Zoe, I have to go. Catch you next time. Good night, everyone. Love all. Long time. I know there's a few people. We are coming towards the end. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a few of your videos as well. Remember,
for the virtual
don't
model
send
railway.
the video. Somebody did do that, and it's ended up locked in my spam folder. I can't access it because they attached the video as a MOV file. Look, I'm really sorry. You can't do that. It doesn't work. Yeah. So you need to email to zoe@zoerobinson.com. That is Zoe spelt the European way, Z-O-E. There is no mysterious Y on the end. And send the URL link to your YouTube channel. We'll name check the YouTube channels and the layouts. But that's how to get your videos featured on this. You're going to tell me now, oh, we haven't got any. I thought we had some left over from last week.
We do, and I'm just getting down to them.
So whilst the Cupboard Monkey sorts that out, we've got Kelly Ashford saying, Steam, this is my quick way of saying steam engines. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all. I've heard people call them kettles as well.
No, they're all choo-choos.
James Moody says Russia is 5-foot gauge. Ah, right, so it might be the other way. Right, interesting. And Mark Wilson asks, can next week's theme be a discussion on gauges, please? That is certainly a good idea. We might think
why
about
not?
that.
Why
Somerset Andy says, check my channel out for some Train Simulator 2020 videos. It's a great simulator.
Oh,
also,
Jen, you are going to love this one.
One final quickie thing as well. Don't forget, I'm always pretty pretty chilled about it. If you want to plug your own YouTube channel, I'm quite happy for you to do that. Do it once in the comments. Don't spam the comments with it over and over again. But certainly, I'm not unhappy if people want to let others know about their YouTube channels as well, because I know that it's very difficult when starting out on YouTube, and you can have the greatest of content, but as a small channel, it can be very difficult to get noticed. So I'm really happy for people to plug their own YouTube channels.
Okay, the first video we've got is from Andrew Johnson channel, and it's Blair Forest Railway.
It's interesting actually. Leslie Gilpin says steamies were actually public wash houses in Scotland.
So that gives an entirely different view to it, doesn't it? So let's have a look at this. I think you'll like it, Jen.
Right, so who have we got here?
Andrew Johnson. Blair
oh, yes. So Blair Gowrie Forest Railway, 4 years on. So this is 00. I can tell that they're the Hornby Railroad teaks. But out in the garden, this is nice. With Flying Scotsman as well, it looks like there. Garden railways are great. High maintenance, yes, but you can get some really great scale length trains.
Interesting editorial effect with the black and white.
I'm presuming that. Oh, I thought for a moment they were controlling the train. But I think
that would have been interesting if they were.
You can do it via DCC actually. With you can get.
Does that mean you could control your entire layout via DCC on your phone from a different room?
Yes, if I had a different DCC controlling system.
That would be quite fun.
I'd have to change the gauge master to something like NCE.
On really hot days, we could just have the live stream of just the trains going, and you could sit somewhere else.
Oh, Hornby 00 and Wren. Certainly, that is pretty nice. Now, Gronkfest.
Gronk it up, Gronk it up.
Is that a Wren? Yeah, that's the Wren one. Now, the Wren was the old Hornby 00 Class A, and actually, it's a really credible model. Not surpassed really until Lima kind of almost matched it, but it was really the Bachmann model in the late 90s was the and I love the castles. Cardiff Castle, there was also Denbigh Castle was the other 2-rail one, but then Bristol Castle and Ludlow Castle were the 3-rail ones. If you find a Ludlow Castle, they're actually quite valuable.
That's a lovely cat.
Yeah, cats are cool. And the tin plate super detailed coaches, some of the finest coaches ever made. I'm waiting for the paw to bat it when the cat thinks you're not looking. Wren Brighton Pullman. I'm not familiar with that one, but that's the Class 403.
You're enjoying this.
I am actually. Garden railways are a great environment to relax and watch trains running. Maintenance is what got the better of my garden railway. The wood went rotten. But certainly if you can find materials that are very, very durable, then that's the way ahead. Some nice railway armour there as well.
That's a lot of. That looks like my office.
Yeah, that does actually look like your office. Brilliant.
Right,
Hornby 00, a 2 controller there and an old Duet. Is that or H&M or a Duet? Oh my word! With rudimentary sound. The Bachmann N class. I do think that these are actually a surprisingly good model. They've been around for an awfully long time in the Bachmann range, but certainly I think they do still hold their own and well worth picking up as and when you can find them. And because they've been around so long, you can actually get them at a really great price.
Then Tullet says, great, now I have the urge to want a garden railway. Right,
Yeah,
shall
go
we?
on, go on,
That's been a
Relative
very
Cool.
nice one. Shall we move on?
I have actually thoroughly enjoyed that. So whose YouTube channel is that?
That was Andrew Johnson.
So Andrew Johnson, everyone, you'll be seeing that on the channel there now. So do go over and check that out. Certainly, really enjoyed that video.
Okay, I'm going to jump back to here.
We're going to queue up the next video.
I'm going to put a link to that channel into the
Oh, actually, that's a really good idea.
thing now, because we didn't show it all, and people might want to see the rest. So I think that was a lot of fun for people. And that's one of the ones that was last week.
Robert Cicero says Erie Railroad was 6 foot gauge, so every railroad had to build to their gauge. Eventually they switched to 4 foot 8 inches. Gosh, they sound like the Awkward Squad, don't they?
You love the Awkward Squad. You are the Awkward Squad.
Yeah, I am. Leslie Gilpin says my YouTube vids are slowly getting more views. I think it's YouTube vids are slowly getting more views. Only 180 subs after 18 months. That's probably faster than I originally picked up subscribers at the beginning, I do have to say. James Moody says, I've no idea what went wrong. I tried to send emails with video links to Zoe, but she said nothing arrived. Interesting. Well,
Sometimes that does happen, unfortunately.
um,
We've got here another one from Rule 1. So this one is improved automated running session at Western Parkway. Ooh. I think you might enjoy this.
I like the junction on the curve. That is pretty good. Certainly, out in the shed when I, there we are. There's
Ooh, what are they?
Virgin Pendolino, I think that was. But that does look to be. Is that N gauge or double O?
I'm not entirely sure. It's hard to tell from this height. But it's.
I like the junction actually there, where you've got the curved point leading to what I presume. Oh no, I thought it was a double slit, but it's 2 points toe to toe.
So what's the grey? Is that?
I think that's like paint, so that when
Right.
it's ballasted, the wood doesn't show through the ballast.
Right, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I tend to paint my baseboards a lot of the time.
Rule 1 says it's N gauge.
N gauge, right? I'm with you. Ah, right, I see. There's the makings of a really great layout here. You can see as well. There's the upper layer too.
Yeah, multi-layered always gives. Because the world's not flat.
Yeah, I like that you've got the 4-track main line, and your track geometry is absolutely spot on there. It puts mine to shame, I do have to say. Those tracks look perfectly parallel, and then you've got what appears to be a branch line to the left. I'm liking this. Is going to become a pretty good layout actually when it's all scenic and stuff. Is that a 158? I'm going to guess at a 158 in. Is that a Riva Wales?
Couldn't tell you, but I like the posters on that building there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's a nice one as well. Well done, and I look forward to seeing more from that.
Oh, Rule 1 Model Railway says the tracks are super elevated too. Oh, brilliant! That's where they, on the corners, they cant inwards, just like on the real railway, so you can actually see the trains leaning a little bit.
I did notice that a little bit. Yeah, that is cool. Right, again, I'll put the link to that into the chat.
So is that Rule 1 Model Railways?
Yes.
So that is pretty good. I'd like to see how that layout progresses.
Yeah.
So yeah, lovely.
Oh, come on. Paste. There.
Right. Let's have a look. Oh, Simon Trains MRS says Class 150. I thought it was a 158. Kelly Ashford says the only thing I'm not neat with is ballast. I think with ballasting, it's one of those things you either love it or you hate it. And time is the thing you've got to put a lot of it into to get a really great result. But I would always suggest going the next size down for your ballast. So if you model in double O, use N gauge sized ballast, and if you model in O gauge, use double O ballast. In N gauge or smaller, I would suggest actually using a very fine sand, to be honest. So what have we got here? Oh, there's a I see a Dalek. That's not on screen yet, is it?
It's not, because I thought it was an advert.
Right. This
one's from Helgen Class and it's Missy Railway's trailer.
So,
and I'm going to bring that up in a second. It's only short 45 seconds.
No worries.
So I would pay attention if I were you, Jen, because it'll be over before you know it. Here we go.
So, is that the... Oh, right, Class 8. Oh, gosh, yes, it is. It flicks to Dalek in the Garden. Is that Class 47? Oh, that was the special Backman one. There's a lot of Sontarans and stuff going on, so there's a definite... I like the scrapyard
That
scene.
is a cool scene.
Yeah.
I'm appreciating the Doctor Who. Very, very nice.
Yeah. Definitely.
But the bit I particularly enjoyed, and how far... Yeah, was the pulling a cup. I thought that was quite nifty. So it's
Cyberman going on there as well. Sontaran on the beach.
Some of these you
Daleks.
can't tell whether it's a person in a costume or not.
Yeah, actually, there's some...
Let's go right back to start, because when it pulls the cup,
there.
that's a fair amount of heft. So yeah, that's fun. From Helgen Class.
Doctor Who vibe going on.
Yeah.
And yes, Flymo Chairman 1, absolutely bash that like button. Leslie Gilpin says, all my Kato track, apart from some points and curves, came in carriage sets. Yeah, the Kato track is interesting. What I do particularly like, I think they do in, it'd probably be HO, but they do like tram track, and it's great if you want to build up either a tram, something like if you want a train going down the middle of the street. So, for example, and I'm going to show my local knowledge here, in Utica, is it Utica? Utica? In New York State, there is a railroad short line that goes down the middle of Schuyler Street. Oh, I'm messing this up. There's a road, it goes down the middle for about 0.6 of a mile, 0.5 of a mile. And there's actually a spur on that road off into a brewery. It's well worth a look, actually. I found it on YouTube by accident, but it's a very, very interesting area. So this is Viaduct Central Model Railway.
Yeah, and I'm about to bring that up.
So we're going into the next video now. Viaduct Central Model Railway.
And this is scenery added to Viaduct Central.
So brilliant.
Here we go.
So they're road rail vehicles. So certainly the one on the left is.
And the orange one is clearly the A-Team pretending to be Network Rail.
Yeah.
So you got to watch out.
So there's some nice customised vehicles there. Class 7 diesel shunter, brilliant. Yeah, don't forget to check out Viaduct Central on YouTube.
I believe we've seen this
we have
before.
seen elements of this, definitely. But yeah, the Class 7 there, is that the weathered 07009? Certainly the Helgen Class 7 is a great locomotive and currently on offer at Rails of Sheffield and other places. Class 37, obviously the obligatory Class 37. I do like the cloud scene that you've got there.
Oh, it's looking good.
Getting the buildings together there as well. Seeing Metcalf. The Metcalf kits are really good, actually. It's going to be,
they're impressive.
I presume you're going to put a hillside in there, so that's the tunnel mouths for either end. And that's looking really good. And that's the thing, tunnels are great. It's something that I've always thought is that by having tunnels, you can really break up the scenery, provide focal points of interest, and also disguise the size of your model railway really, really well. Because if you've got a track that goes in and out of a tunnel, I like the trunking. I'm particularly liking the trunking that you've got there from the point motors. It's nice little touches such as that really does bring a model railway to life.
I'm liking the weathering on the ballast and everything. It looks worn. It doesn't look like it's just put down, you know. And
your electrics are much neater than mine. I'm presuming that is the digital signal converter. It looks a bit like the Hornby one.
Yeah, Jen's wiring. I would say it looks a bit like a horror show. If anyone engineers would look at it and scream.
And a big hello to OS Reverse. Hi Auntie Jenny, it's Zach. Hi Zach, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining in the stream. Always good to see you. I hope you are well as well. And also don't forget everybody, that if there's any bits in the stream that you've missed and you want to see again, then you can go back and check all of those out. Oh, I do like that hopper.
Yeah.
Is that the ratio kit? That is
rather
nicely
snazzy.
made. Yeah, it's really coming together quite nicely here.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
And it's come on a lot as well since we last saw it, so progress is really, really good. I like the painting of the clouds on the back seat. A good back scene does add a lot to a railway.
Yeah, as Les has demonstrated for you.
Very much so, very much so.
We have one more. Oh my goodness. This is the bit where he's got all the scenery just done.
Yeah, come on, we've got to see this.
Yeah, here you are.
Kingspan Cutting says, fine black
There.
fish tank gravel makes great double O ballast and costs about a tenner for 15 kilograms. The other recommendation that I also made, that is good.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that is
Oh
perfect.
my word!
That is so good.
I like the ballast shoulder as well. That is really, really nicely done. Very impressed with that.
Yeah.
It really does bring it together.
It looks real.
Kiln dried fine paving sand. It's about £3 for a 10-kilo bag. That's what I've used up here on the Weir Yard.
That is so good.
That is nice. Definitely, it's really coming together. Actually, I'm very impressed with that section, and you should be proud of that. Rightly so. That is a really nice bit of modelling work.
Absolutely. Right, we've got one more to look at. I'll put the link to this into the chat because I think people are going to want to see that. But thank you very much for sharing.
I love the little details on the platform. It really brings it to life. So that's Viaduct Central Model Railway. We're going to put a link to that in the description. Do check out all of these videos and subscribe to the channels as well. Tony Wright says, Jenny, check out Lagrange on YouTube. CSX trains running the full length of Main Street. Yeah, that's another place. Is that in, is it Kansas or Kentucky? I am aware there's a railroad museum just slightly up the line as well, which I spotted on Google Earth. A lot of these American lines fascinate me.
This is the next video. You can keep talking while I get it set up. This one's from Simon George, and it's more testing at Heaton Lodge Junction.
That is very impressive, actually.
So
I've just seen the sneak preview, so we're going to go to this. But yeah, I am getting more and more interested in the idea of American HO models. Now that is fabulous track work and ballasting. That looks real, even down to the detritus that we got at the side there with the trunk.
Is it going to play? There we are. Right, it's playing.
It is playing. I think we're waiting for a train, but I'm looking at the track work. Is that O gauge? Or is that double O? I mean, the fact that I can't tell is testament to just how nicely that's done.
It's multiple colours as well, which helps.
Oh, well, the ballast is really nicely done.
Yeah.
I'm going to say possibly O gauge, I'm thinking.
No,
but there is a train coming.
There is a choo-choo coming. Oh my goodness. It's impressive. It's very impressive.
Class 37. Whoa!
Oh!
With HAA hoppers by
I'm going to say that's O gauge because of the way the camera is distorting it.
That is actually very, very impressive. I know this model. This is the one of the bigger. It's something like 200 feet long. It's a scale 1.7 miles. Yeah. There's been a recent video actually. One of the model wargaming channels recently did a video featuring this because they poured the resin for the river. I did watch that video. I was incredibly impressed.
It's a hell of a model.
I think Richard Watson, aka New Junction, has visited this layout. I could be wrong, but certainly I'm sure he's visited this. He showed me a photo of him grinning from ear to ear next to this thing, and it is one actually. We'll have to send an email back asking, can we come and visit and film at some point?
Yeah.
So that's Simon George. It's only got 555 subscribers. It certainly deserves a lot more. That is very impressive.
So I'm going to bring that into the chat as well. Give that URL.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Thank you so much to everyone who sent a video. That's the last one we've got.
That was Rubik's Arc says, is Heathen Lodge that layout? Is it 1.5 miles? I think it's about 1.7 miles long. Seen it on YouTube. Yeah, definitely. That is one to watch out for, and certainly. So who was it who sent that?
Philip Bowden.
Interesting. We'll have to. email them back and ask if we can go and visit and film at some point, because that is an amazing layout.
That
definitely.
was.
Right.
It's now 9:10.
Oh gosh. I'm really sorry, guys. We've gone well over the time, but we've still got over 200 people in. Don't forget to tickle that like button, share and subscribe. We're going to sign all of the books that you guys have ordered during the stream from our channel sponsor,
yes, thank you,
the video sponsor, All Mouse Media. We will sort them out and get them posted. They'll go in the post tomorrow. But a big thank you for your support on those. Also, a big thank you to everybody who donated on Super Chat and also on the paypal.me link as well. And also thank you to the people who signed up on Patreon as well. It's great support, and without you guys, we really couldn't do this.
Gary Lewis says, yes, Heaton Junction is okay, chat. So I think I called that, given
I think, yeah, definitely. But certainly, that is an amazing video. And it's only got 555 subscribers, and really that's a layout that is worthy of more.
Absolutely.
So we're going to bring this stream to an end in association with our sponsor, All Mouse Media, publisher of books, comics, and producer of all manner of media related. So I'm going to, what do they do anyway?
Web video. They run this channel.
Yeah. But
how do you not know what All Mouse Media does?
Just joking. I'm just joking. I'm giving you the lead in. See, I'm doing that.
Right,
I'm doing like the commercial thing. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know, like advertiser friendly and all that nonsense. But look, it's been great. Thank you very much, all you guys, for taking the time out to hang out on the Monday Club. It's always great and always an honour to spend time with you. And it's been great to hear from you as well. Your most anticipated upcoming models. We shared those images of the Helgen 25. That looks really good, actually. I'm really looking forward to that model. In fact, I'm inclined at the moment, from what I've seen, saying that that's probably one of my most anticipated new models of 2020, just off the back of seeing those livery pictures. Also, Oxford Rail wagons, the tanker wagons are imminent, so look out for those. With the N7s and the J27s are on their way as well. So no fixed dates on those, but they are coming, so do look out for them. And we hope to get you some great reviews of those as well. Don't forget as well, we showed you the Acura scale PFA wagon sets and containers. If you really like the look of those, and they are currently sitting at my recommendation of Wagon of the Year, then do get your order in for those, because they are sure to sell out quickly. They very much are the Rolls Royce of the wagon world. Great models. Also looking forward to the Class 55 from Acura scale. Hopefully that's coming out in the next few months, I think. But also really looking forward to their 37 as well. And also Daypole, we're looking at, hopefully we'll get the EP and livery samples coming out in the next few months for the 51XX Class Prairie. Really looking forward to seeing what they do with that, given that they're going to have to pull out all the stops to go head to head with the Hornby model. And also imminent arriving, we've got the Duchess of Atholl from Hornby. We're expecting that anytime soon. And the Bachmann Class 40, another one, the sleeper one for me, is one that hopefully should be with us by the end of this month, and all of your generous donations are going to be put towards bringing one of the Class 40s from Bachmann to Wheelyard, and it will feature in an upcoming review. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take really great care of yourself. You take care. Bye for now.
Bye bye.